Hello, everyone. It's not this week's episode, it's 2026 picks by us. I'm Jem,
I'm Cons.
and we are two bros interested in finance. So, 2025 is nearly over, and we are looking forward for 2026. We had a good year in 2025, both on our GetQuin portfolio and also on our personal portfolios. We both beat the market, which we are very happy about. Uh, and yeah, this is it. So, Cons, do you want to take it over? Because Get Queen portfolio and everything? Yeah.
Of course, of course. Let's just have a quick look around our performance. Like you said already, man, we had an amazing performance. Aggregated, we're up 46% today on which day is it today? 16th of December, when we're recording
16th
this.
of December,
With me being up 52% and I believe you 40%. So both of us really amazing performance, double the S&P 500, more than double.
more than
And
double, yeah.
yeah, our top picks were pretty much Google, ASML, AMD, Amazon, Bank of America, and Netflix. So most of our positions were in green. Novo Nordisk was probably the black sheep. We've talked about this before, minus
Mhm.
40%. So we also talk about our bad ones here. Let's just keep it real. And Evolution, minus 14%. But yeah, the good positions outweighed them, and we had a really good performance. And let's try to beat it for 2026. Um,
Yeah,
would you like
that's
to
what we
say
are
anything
aiming for.
for the Get Quinn still?
um, uh, Not really, to be fair. I am glad that we beat the market, but not only beating the market, we also beat the market like quite well, like more
Yeah,
than double the market. And
yeah.
like this kind of proves this. We were just like I just told you this before we started the video about we were just like talking about hedge funds, and some of them, to be fair, maybe even most of them did really bad this year. And we were just saying like why don't they just stick with like big cap stocks? Like you can easily beat the market, not only beat the market but get great returns. And this is what we did essentially. I don't think that any of my stocks were anything but big cap stocks. You had Evolution and Novo
Mm.
Nordisk. Maybe Novo Nordisk is big cap, but like it's not the most famous or the most popular stock, to be fair. But we essentially showed that we pick good stocks, and those stocks are the type of stocks that relatively has low risk, and we kind of proved this in 2025.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And I think it's fair to also mention that not all big caps had a great performance this year, right? I think we
Yeah,
really carefully
yeah.
chose them and we bought them as well before the big April May crash, right? So we started
Mhm.
investing or we started this portfolio before this actually happened. So we didn't just buy the bottom. Of course, it helped in our personal portfolio, but on GetQuin, I think it wasn't really shown. So yeah, amazing companies. So I would just start with the first company, bro. It's already in our GetQuin as well, anyway.
Yeah.
It's a pick from
So 2026,
2025, and it's
drum
coming
roll.
for
The can we
2026.
put like a drum roll for
Uh,
it? I don't know.
I'll add the sound sound later.
Uh,
Um, but yeah, man, let's start. Amazon is our first pick for 2026. It will be in both of our portfolios, so it will make
yeah.
up a nice position. And I think it's self-explanatory, nearly. But I'll let you talk a little bit why Amazon is the main deal for 2026. What do you say?
So when you think of Max 7 companies, right? Meta's year, out of those Max 7 companies, for the last 3 years, Meta, Nvidia, Google have been the ones that led the way and carried the Magnificent Seven companies. So Meta did its surge in 2023. Nvidia increased tremendously in 2024. They even needed to do a stock split, and 2025 was Google's year. So when I look at this and when I look at other Mac 7 companies, Amazon had a really bad year, like got beaten by the market. Not only got beaten by the market, if it ends the year with minus year to date return, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, we were lucky to add Amazon into our personal portfolio because we actually caught the perfect dip. But this doesn't necessarily mean that everyone had that. I'm sure most of the investors are in minus with Amazon year to date. And I believe that 2026 is going to be Amazon's year out of Big Seven, Magnificent Seven, sorry. It's year to date, it didn't change. AWS customers are increasing tremendously, very stably. And also, one of the Mac 7s, which is Amazon, still didn't have its search throughout these 4, 5 years. So Amazon is my candidate, and I believe that Amazon is going to show the performance that Google has showed in 2025, so this year. Amazon is like up what 70%, 60%, something like that. Amazon is up like, yeah, 62, 63% nearly. Sorry, Google is
Mhm.
up
Yeah.
63% this year. Sorry, not Amazon. And if Amazon goes more than 40% up in 2026, so next year, I would not be surprised at all. I'm not saying that it's going to increase by 40%, but I am saying that it is Amazon's year this year. So I am expecting good returns from Amazon because of these reasons.
Yeah, that's yeah, fair. No, no, fair, fair. I mean, you had it in your GetQuin last year, I didn't. And, overall, it was still a nice buy. Even in the GetQuin, it's up 14%, and we bought, pre-crash as well. I think,
Mhm.
personally, I'm up, 18% because of the crash buy you said, so we had a really nice entry. But then again, people, like, literally year to date, it's, like, up 1 or 2%, so it's barely getting there, right? So, like you said, it's lagging, and I think we can have, well, I'm hoping for a pretty good year on Amazon, and I think it can pull it off. It's lagging behind the other Mag 7s. And yeah, if you just look at the financials in general, I think it's a top tier company. And especially AWS has shown some recent growth again. So, yeah, in general, I think it's really self-explanatory. I mean, we've talked about Amazon pretty much throughout the whole year as well, right? We've always
Mhm.
mentioned it, and yeah, so it's gonna be a top top one pick for both of us. Um, Otherwise, I don't think I have anything else to add or value here, which I haven't said before or in the past.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think Amazon is still gonna do great. Should we move on to the second stock?
Yes,
Uh,
of course.
so the second stock we've both chose again is actually something new. We haven't really talked about it too much, and I've actually bought recently into it, which is funny. So I've already ticked it off, thankfully. Mastercard and Mastercard. So we have a new stock. We haven't really mentioned it, and it's in both of our portfolio for GetQuin 2026. So yeah, I let you lead the way. Say something why you like Mastercard.
Um, like we'll talk about rest of the stocks that we picked as well, but I really wanted to pick something money related, like some stock that is money related, and Mastercard is one of them. I'll tell the other money related stock that I'm going to that I picked as well, but like in the towards the end of the video when we talk about rest of our list. So Mastercard. Mastercard is showing a great growth. I think better than Visa. I have mentioned this before to you, but I don't know if I have mentioned this in one of our videos as well. But lately, I've realized that when I was a kid, I used to see Visa cards most of the
Mm,
time, not Mastercards. But lately, whichever card I get from any bank, it's nearly always Mastercard. So I can see this as a customer, and I can see that Mastercard is growing because of this. So this is just like essentially, if I'm using this in my daily life, there must be a reason for it. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And also Mastercard and Visa, they are this duopoly in the market. They have no competitors. When there is a competitor, they work together rather than working against each other. They work together and they just buy like the possible competitor before they even come out. So this is a duopoly. They were even questioned by the Senate in America, but like nothing happens to them. Nothing happens to them. That questioning was like it came out with no consequences. It was just there. So I picked Mastercard. Mastercard is one of the companies that is like quite essential for everyday life, and you cannot really replace it either. If you delete
Mm.
Mastercard and Visa, it's just like they're irreplaceable in my opinion. And also, a new Fed chair is going to be appointed by Trump. And he keeps saying that the new Fed chair is going to be the type of chair, type of president that who is going to cut the interest rates. So this is one of the reasons why I wanted to pick a money related stock, which is Mastercard. So that's all I can say, to be fair.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. I think, I mean, I've purchased Mastercard a week ago, a little bit on a dip, and yeah, for me, it was just, I don't know, it was also one of Joseph's, our favorite YouTube financial guy, buys. But yeah, Mastercard is just I think it's the perfect product. It just represent one
Mhm.
of those companies that have the perfect product. There's over 3 billion Mastercards out there, which is obviously beautiful. Everybody owns one or two or three because you have several cards, maybe. And yeah, their revenue growth, their cash, their net income growth, their share buyback programs, their dividend growth every year. I think Mastercard is a typical company that you can hold for 10 years and don't be worried about it. And yeah, I don't know. I think I'm very bullish on 2026. I think it's undervalued right now a little bit. So this is why obviously I'm hoping for some great returns. Doesn't have to be 100% like a Alphabet, for example, but we're happy with 20 to 30% as well, especially if it's a little bit of a conservative stock. And what I've realized, because I've already have it in my portfolio, is that, for example, Mastercard is also very robust against those crashes what are recently happening. So it barely
Yeah.
moves. It's actually in the plus already for me, 5%. So when everything else dropped last week, actually Mastercard did a little push. So I really like that. It's a nice uh, risk balance in my portfolio. And yeah, otherwise I have not much to say, man. Profit margin is beautiful as well at Mastercard. Over 40% profit margin. That's just gorgeous for such a huge company. And yeah, I'm really bullish. So there's not much else to add, I think.
Yeah, yeah. No, 100%. Like in businesses, there are like two ways to kind of make money. You either sell things expensive and keep your margins high, or you sell a lot of products, like in numbers, but you keep your profit margins very, very low. So MasterCard has high profit margins, but also they sell a lot of products, if you think about it, because every time you tap your MasterCard, it's essentially them selling you a product.
Yeah.
So MasterCard has it all. It's amazing company. I think we'll be fine with this company.
I would just like to ask you, which I haven't asked at Amazon, unfortunately, but do you have a price
Mm,
target for Mastercard for 2026? I think we should both mention
no,
it if we
no.
have an idea.
Uh, I don't have an idea. I didn't look at it. To be fair, like I don't
Mhm.
really care about the price targets. I care whether it's like giving me good percentages or not.
Yeah.
Even when I'm selling, like I was talking about, like selling Rheinmetall that I have. Like rather than looking at the price, I'm mostly looking at
No.
like what's my profit right now?
Mhm.
Do you know what I mean? Unrealized gain. So yeah,
No,
I
no,
don't have a
fair.
price target.
No. As
Yeah.
long as it's in the positive, right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
So, yeah, okay. Now, good. Then, let's move on
Mhm.
to another stock, the last one, which we both agree on, I guess, for 2026. And it was in your GetQuin portfolio, but you haven't gotten around to it. And we've talked about it many times. It's Netflix,
Yeah.
right? Netflix, Netflix,
Yeah.
Netflix, the beauty out there. And I think it's getting very interesting right now these days. And I think also the main reason why it's in my portfolio right now. But yeah, it's having a recent drop. I think it's gonna be very I'm very bullish on Netflix as well, to be honest. Um, it's gonna be very interesting. What do you think about Netflix, man? Drop your knowledge.
Ooh, what don't I think about Netflix? Netflix, amazing company. I love Netflix. In 2025, I put it in my 2025 GetQuin portfolio, but in my personal portfolio, I couldn't buy it, and I was so sad about it. I kept
Mm.
mentioning this in the videos. I kept saying that I should have sold some of my Rhine metals to buy Netflix and so on and so on, but I didn't. But in 2026, Netflix, wait for me, I'm coming. What can I say about Netflix? It's just an amazing company. There's not much to say about Netflix. They are doing live shows. Like the other day, I think they broadcasted a NFL match, like this American football match. They are broadcasting boxing matches. They are doing like live shows. They are thinking to buy Warner Bros. Every time they make a series, it's amazing. Netflix is just amazing, and compared to its competitors, I think it's doing far way better. Like there's not even a race between its competitors because Netflix is just so far ahead, in my opinion. Because Prime Video and Disney Plus are not even anywhere close to Netflix, in my opinion, in terms of the catalog, in terms of the products that they offer. Um, it's just amazing. I don't have much to say. I can only say that it's amazing.
Yeah, no, same. I think I got persuaded by you over
Hmm.
time to like Netflix. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think it's also getting into an attractive position right now historically, what Netflix was valued at. And like you say, the future ventures they have, like this broadcasting now of sports and also Netflix games and so forth. Like there's a lot
Hmm.
of things happening. They're taking up market share. They want to acquire Warner Bros. Right now, which is going to give them a higher market share. We've talked about this in our recent stock video as well. And I think there we also mentioned why it is one of our top picks for 2026. And honestly, just coming back to the point where you said you couldn't get it this year, is honestly it was your worst performing stock in GetQuin portfolio, which is crazy. So
Yeah.
honestly, you
Mhm.
kind of in a sense dodged a bullet, but um,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you might get it still cheaper, right? It's on a downtrend right now. I'm really hoping
Yeah.
for my
Right now.
entry right now between, I don't know, $70 to $85, something in between there would be really, really nice. Um, but yeah, what else can I say, man? Netflix, super cool company.
Netflix
I've
is just Netflix. Yeah.
gonna outperform, I think, 2026. And yeah, price target is gonna be, I don't know, like this. As long as the growth is there, I think it's kind of unstoppable what it's doing right now, and it's running away from its competition. So I think it's the only logical company right now. But yeah, otherwise I have not much to add for Netflix. If you don't.
No, I don't. I think it's more than clear.
Nice. Then let's move on to one of your companies. I'll let you take the lead for SAP, a German. They're
Yes.
our first German stock, European stock actually. Crazy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So SAP. I talk about SAP a lot throughout the videos. I always liked SAP as a company, the products that they offer, the solutions that they offer. I think it's a very, how do I say? It's not stable. I wouldn't say stable, but it's a very fundamental company for us to live our daily life. even though people don't know about it. Think about, I don't know, big companies, they most likely use SAP products to run their factories, to run their systems, to run their business. So, in my opinion, SAP will always be needed, and it is needed at this very moment. And it had a very bad year in the German market. So, SAP,
Mhm.
let's just take a quick look at it while we are on it. Okay, we can check the American market as well. In German market, SAP is in minus year to date, but in American market right now it's 0.5% in plus.
Yeah.
Revenue is increasing, but like not in a great pace, but it's going there. Net income is increasing. Free cash flow is a bit questionable, but the thing that I like the most about SAP is they nearly don't have any debt. Their cash is higher than their debt, and they can pay off their debt anytime. I think they're just keeping that debt for like business purposes that I don't really understand. Shares outstanding is normal, everything is fine, and their expenses are kind of increasing over the quarters. Because it had a bad year, I put SAP on my list because SAP is always going to be SAP. I think it's a good pick, and I am really happy with that. And its PE ratio is relatively okay. In 2026, it is projected to be 25 PE. And yeah, and their dividend is like 1.14%, which is not the best, but which is not the worst. So SAP, I don't have much to say about SAP. I just like the company. It had a really bad year. Not a really bad year, but like it had a bad year. So I was just like, yeah, SAP, I'm gonna add it to my list because I had a good year in crypto, also in stocks. So SAP was my risky pick, but to be fair, out of all the risky picks that I could do, SAP might be the safest
Mhm.
risky bet that I am having right now.
Nah, fair. You know my opinion. SAP, I think, is a top class company. Comes literally around the corner where I grew up. SAP headquarters, in
Yeah.
Baden-Württemberg, Germany. It's the largest company. Uh, it's the largest company, I believe, in the DAX anyway. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
a top tier company. I've owned it before. Um, the only concern I have right now with SAP, I think it's a little bit overvalued, but this is my general consensus about the German market a bit. I think I'm not too hyped about the German market for over a year now. I mean, it's performing well this year. Uh, uh, of course, I was a bit wrong. Hate to admit it, but yeah, for me, SAP is a little bit still overvalued, but it can definitely have a beautiful run. The company has the possibilities to do so. It has the financials to back it up. It looks beautiful. I think it's also, yeah, I think it can have it's in a nice position where it can have a rebound. So I wouldn't be surprised. But hey, for me, it would be really interesting if SAP drops between the 160 and the 180 euro mark. This is where it would get interesting for me as well to start investing in it or reinvest again. Um,
Reinvesting
yeah.
that, yeah.
But yeah, what else can I add? I mean, it's a top tier company, Europe's largest. I don't think you can
Yeah.
uh, go wrong with a tech company from Europe in this case, or in this case, SAP.
Yeah.
Um,
In my opinion, yes. Yes, I agree.
I think it's a pretty decent stock pick. Otherwise, yeah, I have not much to add. Should we move on to the next one?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll stay in Europe
Sure.
quickly.
Do you want to say yours or should I? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll just mention my Europe. Black Sheep. Hey, it's still on my list. I know, I know. It was a black sheep, but it's fine. As long as my other picks outperform this one, it will be all good. But I picked Novo Nordisk again, and um, let me tell you reasons. My reasons. I think Novo Nordisk is
I
one
want
of
to
the
hear them. I
leading.
want to hear them. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the leading pharmaceutical companies in Europe, if not the leading, at least in the EU. It used to be the largest, we talked about this, largest pharmaceutical company, AstraZeneca being its main competitor, at least at this size. And yeah, I just look at Novo Nordisk in general as a company. It's very liked in Europe, or very liked in the German market at least. Um, and I just look at the revenue growth, the net income growth, and the earnings per share, and what the company is doing. And I just think it's attractive. I think obviously it's more attractive than last year. I think it was a misjudgment last year what I did 100%, but I still believe the company is a top tier company. Um, and I just believe it's undervalued right now. I mean, it was one of my recent buy-ins as well to DCA my entrance price. And I think for the long term, it's going to be very interesting, especially because they've started selling now within the Indian market, which I think is a huge market to start weight loss pills, or whatever drugs they are selling there. And yeah, in general, it's a beautiful company. Novo Nordisk has a profit margin above 30%. So it's also working at a high profitability. And I just hope there will be a turnaround. So this is what I'm hoping for. I think we talked about this before the video as well. That of course, Novo Nordisk is in a perfect situation where it can consolidate for another year, right? It won't move. It will stay between the 40, 50, $60 range. Can happen. But yeah, it's my risky movement this year. It was risky last year as well. Didn't pay off. I balanced it out, thankfully, with another stock, AMD. Um, but I'm picking it up again. I think the financials are right. I think the business is right. And I think it's undervalued. This is my main aim. And yeah, let's see if it surprises us. Only time can tell. But yeah, I know you don't like it, but I have to.
I kept mentioning you as in terms of Ozempic and its research that are slowly coming out, and they are not promising, and scientists don't really enjoy giving Ozempic to their patients. They are they keep coming out, and they are still not the best. Um, and this happens with pharmaceutical companies a lot, but in my head, Novo Nordisk became this large and popular company with the product of Ozempic. And if your main product is not even that stable or that perfect, that good, like what are you even doing for? What are you even just like producing the drug for? Um, I think I would say that I genuinely don't like Novo Nordisk pick of yours. Because I don't think it's going to have a good year. Because I've checked some pharmaceutical companies to add to my 2026 portfolio as well. I'll mention them in the honorable mentions section. But
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't trust Novo Nordisk. If I really needed to pick another pharmaceutical company instead of Novo Nordisk, I could pick like many others, but Novo Nordisk would be like nearly close to at the bottom of my pharmaceutical companies list. I mean, only time can tell, but I think time is going to give us like very negative returns with this pick, in my opinion.
No, that's fair. I mean, obviously, I disagree. But yeah, I mean, what can I say? I mean, I picked it, right? um, but yeah, that's fair. Like you can't like every
Yeah.
stock we pick. And this
Mhm.
is where our investment goes different paths, right? Our investment ideas.
Yeah.
But that's fair. Let's see. For me, again, Novo is long-term holding as well. I've had bad picks in the past, and bad picks turned out to be amazing positions. See Alibaba, for example. So, like for me, it's I have the patience, for the long-term holding.
Mhm.
Of course, it's beautiful to see instant returns, like we saw with some of the picks we had this years. But I think the beauty of investing is, will those picks from, for example, this year still outperform for next year as well, right?
Yes.
Um, but yeah, let's see. It's a risky pick. I'm not gonna deny that. Pharmaceuticals are not my favorite anymore because all of them are performing trash. So it's a tough one, but I believe in the company, and I think this whole India market is very interesting. And like you said, with the side effects, yeah, people don't really care. People eat McDonald's and smoke as well, right? Like they know what's happening to them, but Do they really give a shit? No. So, like, yeah, let's just leave it at that and continue with your last pick, which is still a GetQuin pick from this year.
Yes, yes, and one of my favorite picks this year, Bank of America. It was my one of my last picks last year. One of my picks last year, and it is one of my picks this year. So why did I pick Bank of America? Why did I even pick Bank of America for 2025? Year to date, Bank of America is one of the worst performers throughout the bank stocks in America. JP Morgan performed better. Goldman Sachs performed better. Wells Fargo performed better than Bank of America, right? But because I picked the perfect dip, right? Um, because I picked I could like buy it at the perfect dip. My Bank of America investment gave me really good returns. But because it was the worst performer this year, I think it's going to be one of the best performance next year throughout the banks. And also, as I mentioned with Mastercard, Fed chair, the new appointed Fed chair, is going to be someone who is going to cut the interest rates. Hence, I believe that bank stocks are going to perform really good this year. So
Mm.
that's why I picked Bank of America. Its a debt to deposit ratio is one of the best compared to other banks. That's why I trust Bank of America a lot, the stock itself. And yeah, it's mainly because it performed bad this year. Also, it has really good financials and new Fed chair hoping in new Fed chair's possibility to cut interest rates. So these were the three main reasons why I picked Bank of America.
No. Yeah. Fair, fair, fair. I mean, my stance on banks, but,
Yeah.
for example, in my mind, I mean, I have nothing against Bank of America. You had a beautiful return last year as well, over 30%. You can't hate on
Mhm.
that. That was a beautiful investment, and you got your returns. And yeah, I mean, for me, the only thing is like I would prefer, for example, I prefer Mastercard over Bank of America, and for me, like Mastercard
Mhm.
is enough, if that makes sense. I
Yeah.
guess at the same time, I don't like, yeah, I don't want to buy banks so much, and I don't like Mastercard. Not really a bank, right? Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I can see it. Maybe there will be good returns. I feel like I'm a little bit skeptical, like towards, oh, it had a good year, it will have a like slow year next year, or it had a bad year, now it will have a good year next year. Um, yeah, depends. But like you said, with the Fed chairman change, I think that's a really good argument for bank stocks to be bullish this coming year. And maybe we're gonna get new interest cuts. I don't know about that, what's happening in 2026, but yeah, we'll see. I think it's a really decent pick. It was a decent pick for this year, and you got your
Mhm.
returns. And yeah, logically thinking, a good stock that was good this year, I think, should be good next year and the years to come, right? So of course,
Yeah.
it's a good pick, and yeah, I like it. Let's see how it performs.
Yeah. Should be
Um,
okay. What's
then
your
we
What's your last pick?
Then we come to mine last one, and surprise, surprise, I'm holding something, and I'm holding Google. I think Google is still a very nice pick for 2026. It was a pick for both of us last year. It performed beautifully. But then again, I feel like there's still a lot of growth left for Google. It currently trades at around a 30 PE ratio, which is quite high for Google if we consider a couple months back
Yeah.
when we bought it at a 19 forward PE ratio, right? So
Mhm.
yeah, again, Google I think looks really healthy these days. Beautiful revenue growth. beautiful net income. They have their robot taxis coming out, or Waymo rides, whatever it was called. They have beautiful amount of cash to debt ratio. They have share buyback programs, and they started paying dividends as well. So I think Google is like the perfect example. Everything is right within the company. Like Google just looks amazing. Uh, I never understood the hate it got a couple of months or a year back, and um, Google is definitely a stock I can see at 450 US dollar by the end of 2026. I had 250 US dollar in mind for this year, and it vastly outperformed. So it was really surprising for me, because I feel like my 250 was already really bullish. And
Yeah.
bam, surprise, surprise, we were it just slapped us in the face and gave us an amazing return. So yeah, I think the hype is still there. I feel like people still want to buy in it. Buffett bought at 240. Um, so yeah, hoping for the ultimate growth and hoping for beautiful return. I think Google is still going to surprise us, hopefully for the better. If you have anything anything to say towards Google.
I don't have anything to say. Beautiful company. I have it in my personal portfolio as well. I had it in GetQuin last year, like in 2025. A beautiful company. I have nothing against it. Just like I didn't add it because it had a really good year this year. So I think it's going to be a bit of a sideways year for Google Neck in 2026. That's what I believe. But if it doesn't have any sideways year, I wouldn't be surprised either. But I think, yeah, I just see more potential in Amazon compared to Google for
Mhm.
2026. That's why I didn't edit, but beautiful company. Beautiful company. You can never go wrong with
Yeah,
Google.
we've praised Google so much. We hated it, and then we loved it, and yeah, now we can't stop talking about it. And I think, yeah, like you said, personal portfolio, we both have Google, and of course, we're not gonna sell it anytime soon, at least. Um,
Yeah.
at least I'm not right now. It's definitely not in a position, but yeah, I think will be really interesting. Should we move on to some honorable mentions for stock picks
Yes.
that didn't make the list? I'll just hit out the first. Intuitive Surgical,
Yeah.
great company, had a great year. We've talked about it in the past. Rallied 20% afterwards. So yeah, I mean, a little bit too highly priced for my sake. Obviously, amazing company, but just didn't make the list for me personally.
This year it didn't have the best year. It's like up 7%. So it's not the best year.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. Revenue increase, net income increase, free cash flow is increasing. They nearly don't have debt. Shares outstanding is decreasing and everything. But the thing that scared me about Intuitive Surgical, because I knew about this company. I even used their robots one time. Because in the theater, just surgeon just lets you use it when they are
mm,
done with the surgery. Um, Amazing company, but the thing that scared me, PE ratio.
yeah.
Trailing 12 months, 72. Next 12 months, 60. 2026, 57. Disgusting. Disgusting behavior. I'm not investing in this company because it had incredible surge in the last couple of years. Amazing company, everything is good, so good, but it's just too overpriced. They nearly don't have any competitors. I even told you they had a one competitor called CMR, which is a Cambridge-based surgical company, but they're nowhere near as big as Intuitive Surgical and the Da Vinci robots. But still, too overpriced. That's why it didn't go into my list.
Yeah, no, fair. I agree. It is overpriced and therefore a little bit risky. I mean, we talked about this. It has great growth, like over the quarter, I think like 20% revenue growth. So I understand why it's so highly priced. But yeah, I think it's very niche product range as well. It's a very niche market. Yeah, expensive company right now regarding PE. So yeah, it's still interesting. It's still on the watch list. So we'll keep a close eye to it. But yeah. Um, should I just quickly mention a couple as well? Like, so we go a little bit faster, I guess, through it, so we don't spend too much time on each company. Um, Ferrari, I'm just gonna say Ferrari is interesting, still on my watch list. Didn't make the list. I don't know. It's a luxury product. I didn't feel the hype. I don't know if it's interesting for you. Was it?
It
But
was
yeah,
interesting for me, but it just felt like my picks were better compared
yeah,
to Ferrari.
yeah,
And I'm already taking some risk for SAP. I don't know. SAP seemed less risky than Ferrari, so that's why it didn't go into my list. But like, it's very attractive as well. I'm not gonna lie. Really,
yeah.
really, really good stock.
Yeah, very conservative. I think it's having a little bit of a downtrend right now, so I'm waiting. I wouldn't be surprised if I buy some in 2026, if like an opportunity arises. But for now, I'm just watching it. I think there's also better options right now. So yeah. Lockheed Martin I have here as well. I guess it was partially crossed your mind several times making the list. It also crossed mine. I mean, it's in my portfolio, in my personal portfolio, very small position, I have to say. I'm building it over the years, but yeah, it's risky, I think. It's very risky, Lockheed Martin. It can go either way a little bit, you know?
My problem with Lockheed was amazing company. I really wanted to buy it. They're having buybacks, like like really, really, really aggressive buybacks. Free cash flow, it's okay. EPS is okay. Their revenue is increasing, but the thing that got me was they have a lot of debt. Like
Mm.
their debt is even increasing, whereas their cash is not increasing as much as their debt. It was just like it feels like there is a really bad management in the company that it just scared me. Like I didn't wanna buy a debt machine. So that's why it didn't go into my list. But very, very, very interesting company. And also it didn't feel like it doesn't seem like US wants to go into a war anytime soon. It's like
Mm.
the Europeans that are at risk. So I don't know. It just didn't seem like a good buy for me.
Yeah, for me, it's like if it drops anytime more, I'll buy another small position into it and add a little bit, like slowly add throughout the years. Um, but yeah, for me, it's also, like you mentioned it, the Ukraine war can stop, which affects these kind of stocks. But then on the other hand, we could have a Venezuela conflict in the future, which might affect it
Yeah.
positively, you know. So it's very moody regards short-term news, So you can, I don't know, buy the dips or whatever. I mean, long term, I think it's fine. I think the debt is okay still because it mostly gets covered by the quarterly revenue. Um, but yeah, I think it's just number one in things like fighter jets. So for me, it's just gonna be a long term forever holding, and let's see where it brings us. But yeah, it can just have a slow year in 2026, and this is why it isn't a nice pick for me. Um,
Yeah.
Next one, I would quickly touch on Meta. I think Meta was a little bit interesting for both of us as well. Pretty
Yeah.
self-explanatory. We've talked about it. Beautiful social, so this whole social network system they own, right? WhatsApp, Instagram. I I hope I don't regret not putting Meta because Meta is kind of low valued. It's the lowest valuation of the Max 7. And even though like I have my prejudice towards Zuckerberg or towards the company a little bit, and I don't like Zuckerberg, I feel like it clouds my like judgment, if you know what I mean, because the company is still great, right? Instagram is a beautiful product. Everybody in the between the age of 12 to I don't know 40, 50 uses Instagram on a daily basis, right? Or WhatsApp or Facebook. So I hope it's gonna drop more. I might buy it. Um, but I'm scared it will outperform, honestly. Like, this is one of the stocks that I can totally see perform 2026 because of its low valuation. I don't know what you think, but yeah, this one was a little bit hard for me to keep out of the list.
I agree. but Mark Zuckerberg is getting to me. I don't like him as a CEO. I don't know. Look, Meta, amazing company. Love Meta. Nothing wrong with it. It just didn't go onto my list. I don't know. I had so many tech stocks, including two Max 7 stocks. So I didn't want to add one more what's it called? Max 7 stock, another tech stock. So that's why I didn't add Meta, but I could have switched Meta. Like I just like Amazon and Netflix more than Meta. So that's why it didn't go into my list. Not because there's anything wrong with the company. But yeah, I think there were better options.
I think honestly that's a really good argument that um, lowering the risk, right? Having Google, for example,
Mhm.
then Meta and Netflix and Amazon in the portfolio might be a little bit too much on the tech stocks as well.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, like you say, I'm also not the biggest fan of Mark Zuckerberg. I'm also not the biggest fan of the whole metaverse investment he did with the billions, pretty much, and nothing really came from it. But yeah, it's in general, I'm keeping a watch on it. I wouldn't mind a position in it, like a small one, if it becomes really attractive throughout the year. But yeah, let's see. Let's see. Um, I have Chevron still on the list. We talked about it throughout the year. You thought about it. I think everybody knows Chevron, big ass company. I guess in the resource oil company, right? Oil and gas. Something we don't really touch on too much. So yeah, I mean, I don't see the returns for 2026. This is why it didn't make my list. I think it's slow. I think it can drop more, a little bit like Lockheed, influenced by political events. So yeah, that's my opinion, and that's why I didn't make it.
So I can mention a couple of my honorable mentions here as well. Because when I was
Hmm.
checking Chevron, I checked Exxon,
Yeah.
I checked Total Energies, I checked Shell, I checked BP, and I checked Chevron. I was in between these like five oil companies. Um, I think the best one was Chevron, but even Chevron had a lot of debt. BP had it, Shell had it, Total Energies had it, Exxon had it. They all have tremendous amounts of debt. That's why they didn't go into my list. And also, the I think this is the biggest reason. This reason is, if the Ukraine and the Russian war ends, which seems like it's likely to be end, thankfully, these oil companies are going to like their share is going to decrease. There's not going to be as much demand as they see now. So that's why I didn't want to put any oil company, but I was within these five companies, and none of them made it to my list. So yeah,
Yeah, it's the political events, and I don't know.
yeah,
I feel like there might be a nice entry point, maybe also throughout 2026 for this company. I mean, I watched Chevron now for nearly 1.5 years, I think, and I still haven't bought it. And yeah, I think it's gonna stay a little bit longer for this until I get my my entrance point that I want. So yeah, um, I want more. Well, I have three more. I'm just gonna Nike is also really interesting, at least in my opinion, as a turnaround potential. But yeah, it didn't make my list because it's been slow. It's been tough on Nike. Long term, I still believe in it 100%. I think it's a great company and a great brand. And I think the turnaround is happening now. The question is it happening 2026 or 2027, right? And I think it's gonna take a little bit more time, and that's why I didn't make the stock pick for me for 2026. Could be wrong. Could be wrong.
but we are gonna see.
Yeah. Um, then I have another stock from your side, which I've also watched closely for a couple of years, I guess. Unilever, a very interesting stock that was one of your favorites for the past months, or barely
Yeah,
barely made barely didn't make the list, I guess. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, why you changed your mind, man? That's the main
So,
question, I guess.
with Unilever, I think. Look, I still think that it's going to perform really good in London market. I think great company. Whatever sweets you eat, whatever snacks you have, like all those junk food, most likely it's a Unilever product. Amazing company, but again, the same problem that I had with the oil companies, a lot of that they are never gonna be able to finish. That was my only reason why I didn't wanna invest in it. But amazing company other than that. It barely couldn't make it into my list. And the reason why I couldn't made it in my list is because I've there are better I my the list, the companies that I put it on my list are better companies than Unilever. That was the only reason why it
Yeah.
didn't make it to my list. Yeah.
No, I agree 100% with you. I think any of our companies probably going to perform. Unilever really a really slow company, and of course you can catch a year which
Yeah.
gives you like 20%, maybe 30% return, and then you will see like the next 3 4 years flat again. So very conservative. I think you
Yeah.
can't go wrong in the long term, obviously, because of dividends, and if you hold a company like this 20 years plus, it's I think it's going to be a decent investment. But, yeah, for me, it's just I don't know. It's I've always had it on my watch list, but, when you look at the last 5 years, it's a flat story, and then I'm like, nothing really happening. If I invest now, will will something happen in the next 5 years? Who knows, you know? So, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll keep a close watch on it. Otherwise, I have one more, from my side, and surprise, surprise, it's a Chinese stock. I've Alibaba. I put it in there just to have a little bit diversity as an honorable mention. But yeah, it was a beautiful performer this year. It was one of my top performers in my portfolio. Chinese stocks had a huge rally, and I think Alibaba still the main player in cloud and AI within the China market. So that's why I'm still bullish, just like I'm bullish towards Google. Of course, we're not talking about the same quality company here or the same circumstance, and China has its risks as always. But yeah, I think it's a great player. I think China still has a lot to give. I mean, China had a great year. Let's see what it can pull out 2026. 2025 surprised me honestly better than expected for China. Because China always kicks you in the balls, man. Like the pain market,
Yeah.
it's not nice. But I'm still bullish towards Alibaba, and yeah, it's still in my personal portfolio is performing amazingly the past year or two, pretty much. So yeah,
Yeah. It should be all right.
should be all right. So I guess we're at the end of the video.
Yeah.
Um, not much else to add. Let's hope for 2026 successful. Do you have any goals you want to reach for 2026 quickly? Like what's
So in my personal portfolio, I made 68%, and please correct me if I'm wrong. I made 40% in my
yeah,
GetQuin
40
portfolio, right?
40%, yes, around there.
Yeah, 40%. So my goal is to bypass, literally beat all those percentages that I've done this year. I cannot promise for 68% because that's just like extraordinary. But I think I can do better than 40%. And if I can do better than 40%, someone can just like pay for me for the private classes, how to invest and stuff.
I like that.
But yeah, I just wanna beat 40% at least. Yeah. So that's going to be my what's it called? That's going to be my goal. But worst case scenario, I wanna make at least 20%.
Yeah, yeah, no, I'm the same. I mean, honestly, my yearly performance from GetQuin, 50% on GetQuin is amazing. But in my personal portfolio, I'm scratching around 20% right now. It has been better, but November and December in general, the market wasn't too great. So it was a little bit a hit for me in the portfolio, as I think most investors realize that December and November is a bit painful right now. But of course, my main goal is firstly beat the S&P 500, and beat my
Mhm.
all worlds benchmark, and then plus 20% is always the goal, I think. Um, I think it's gonna be tough. I don't know, depending on the stocks, of course, but I don't know if the market in general is gonna have a good year next year. Let's see. I think we're gonna have a rough start uh, towards the year, maybe. Um, and maybe the second half of the year is gonna be better, but in general, yeah, let's see. Obviously, 20% or plus, we aim for the return. And honestly, I think the companies that we picked can give us that, I think. No?
Yeah, I think so as well. I think it's going to be a good year again. Hopefully.
Let's repeat history. Hopefully.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So if you don't have anything else to add, we can just, end
No.
it.
No, perfect. Yeah. Let's hope for a good 2026, yeah?
Okay, perfection. So 2026 top picks. Five from me, five from cons. We have common ones, and I think in total it makes seven stocks. Hopefully we beat the market again. And that's it. Please share the video, like, subscribe, grandma, grandpa. You guys know the drill already. Catch you guys in the next episode and the next year. Bye bye.
Ciao, ciao, guys. Ciao, ciao.